9 says solve the system of equations using the algebraic method. So I need to use algebra in order to solve this. Now the nice thing is I already have y equals for both of these. So I can take the right sides of both and set them equal to one another. There's no right or wrong way right now. There's no way that says you have to move them to the left or you have to move it to the right. I personally don't like to work with a leading coefficient that's negative, so I'm going to move everything to the left. But again, you can move things to the right and still get the final answer to be correct. When this moves over, it's going to be positive, so I have 1x squared. When this moves over, it's going to be negative. Moves over, it's going to be negative. And now I have nothing left on the right. So I've moved it over, and moved it over. And now I'm going to combine these 5 terms. 1x squared minus 2x minus 8. If we think back to a problem we recently went over, I said, how can we solve? And we have factoring. Sometimes that works. When it works, it's going to save us a lot of time. We have quadratic formula, always works. And we have completing the square, always works. These will always work. So when factoring is not possible, we have to rely on quadratic formula, which you need to memorize, or completing the square. I always try to factor first because it saves me time. 1 times negative 8 is negative 8. Will two things multiply, if possible, to give us negative 8 and combine to give us a positive 2? So I'm going to try here. I'm writing down the different combinations. Because it's a negative answer, the product is a negative answer. I know they have to be different signs. And now I'm going to go back and look at my combinations. Do any of these combine to give us negative 2? No. No. There it is. So this is factorable. X minus 4 and x plus 2 equals 0. Do I have to show work here at this point? No, because I have taught you it's opposite. But if you're not sure about that, again, you're setting it equal to 0 in both situations, and you're solving to get x equals 4 and x equals negative 2. Remember that as I taught this, I said what we have here is we have, in this case, we have a parabola that's opening up downwards, and we have a line, a straight line that's cutting through it. And it's going to cut through it in 2 places, at positive 4 and negative 2. On those 2 places where it cuts through, I just gave us just a random, this doesn't mean this is what it looks like, but 2 places. This particular place is not just an x value. It consists of an x and a partner y. So now I need to figure out what is a corresponding y, a common thing that students forget. When I look up here, there's no wrong way to do this, but I think it's always easier to look and go, which equation looks easier to work with? I think the top one. So I'm going to do some mental math. I'm going to substitute 4 in for x. 4 plus 2 is 6. So 1 ordered pair is 4, 6. Then I'm going to substitute in negative 2. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. Another ordered pair where they intersect is negative 2, 0. How do you know if these 2 answers are correct? You go into Desmos, you graph these 2, and you click on where they intersect, and these should be your 2 answers.